According to Al Jazeera, the city was inhabited as far back as 4000 BC. Earlier, it was known as Jebusite. With the arrival of the Philistines, people who originated from Agon on the southern coast of Palestine in the 12th century BCE and are believed to be the earliest known ancestors to present-day Palestinians, the country expanded. The city of Jerusalem is a sacred area to all three Abrahamic religions. In Christianity, Jerusalem is where the significant event of Jesus Christ's crucifixion was held. For Judaism, Jerusalem is a place that holds sacred architecture, such as the Western Wall and the Dome of Rock, which in Judaism represents the Holy of Holies. This is also where the significant event of Abraham preparing to sacrifice his son Isaac occurred. In Islam, this is where Prophet Muhammad came from Mecca to pray for the souls of the prophets before ascending to heaven. Jerusalem since then has been claimed by Israel and is its capital, and the Dome of Rock, which in Judaism represents the Holy of Holies. This is also where the significant event of Abraham preparing to sacrifice his son Isaac occurred. In Islam, this is where Prophet Muhammad came from Mecca to pray for the souls of the prophets before ascending to heaven. Jerusalem since then has been claimed by Israel and is its capital.
In modern day, the main threat to Jerusalem is urban development and tension between people due to their differences in religion. Jerusalem faces the threat of the deconstruction of important buildings from angry Palestinian protesters. The Israeli police are carelessly destroying important architecture without considering how important the historical impact of these buildings is to certain ethnic groups. The Palestinian protesters decided to retaliate and destroy architecture important to the Israeli people. In order for the Jewish population to expand in Palestine, they began the illegal construction of buildings. Israeli police and Palestinian protesters have had many violent and brutal disputes towards the construction and deconstruction of these buildings. The construction of these buildings allows them to deconstruct important buildings to the Palestinian people. This causes disputes between them to arise. According to JTA, it states, the Israeli government and the United States should know that the Palestinian people's patience is running out, said Ahmed Karia, the council speaker. We won't accept a peace that comes at the expense of our land and our rights, Ataret Kahanim. They are building these new buildings in different areas without other people's consent, which leads to an increased amount of violence. The increase in violence can lead to a very bloody war between the people, which is something that should be stopped. War or conflict between these people should be very limited. Due to the construction of these buildings, the conflict will only arise.
Some endangering factors that apply to Jerusalem are construction, illegal excavations, and a lack of supervision. The Committee for the Prevention of the Destruction of Antiquities on the Temple Mount is a group that helps come up with solutions to these problems. The group was founded in 2002 and consists of sophisticated members such as archaeologists and scholars and introduced a proposal to tackle these issues. As for the damaged architecture, formal archaeological investigation can also help efforts to rebuild damaged areas. Dr. Young and Dr. Newson of the Hosn Niha project have proposed that formal archaeological investigation can help efforts to rebuild damaged areas. They acquired this proposal by studying the archaeological site of Hosn Niha in the central of Bikra, a valley of Lebanon that has been destroyed by conflict. Young and Newson claim that it is a valuable lesson to learn more about the initial development of these sites.
The main solution between the people in Jerusalem is to find a way to compromise with one another instead of against each other. The conflict in Jerusalem needs to end in order for the killing and torture of these innocent people to end. There should be more justice when it comes to the illegal construction of buildings. People should have a say in what changes around them. There should be a set of rules that everyone follows so there's equality with everyone instead of only having one group with all the power. Compromising and agreeing on what happens in Jerusalem can really help build a strong relationship between the Jewish and Palestinian people and would eventually abolish this conflict between them.
The endangering situation that affects Jerusalem, Israel can also be seen in Syria, Aleppo. Aleppo has become a city that is ultimately a battleground for military forces ruled by President Bashar to fight against rebel forces. Other nations like Russia attacked the city of Aleppo through airstrikes just to protect its own interests in the Middle East. Due to the ongoing civil war and the drastic measures foreign interests would take in to protect their interests, many parts of Aleppo have been or are currently being destroyed.
A possible solution between the people in Jerusalem is to find a way to compromise with one another instead of against each other. The conflict in Jerusalem needs to end in order for the killing and torture of innocent people to end. There should be more justice when it comes to the illegal construction of buildings. People should be able to have a say in what changes around them. There should be a set of rules that everyone follows so there is more equality with everyone instead of only having one group with all the power. Compromising and agreeing on what happens in Jerusalem can really help build a strong relationship between the Jewish and Palestinian people. This would eventually abolish the conflict between them and create peace.